Hi there, welcome back to Dukascopy TV. I'm Ben Jones. The consumption tax increase in Japan is starting to affect data such as retail sales. So joining me on the line to analyse the impact and look ahead to the Japanese inflation release is Arthur Alexander from Georgetown University. So Arthur, we've seen a huge drop in retail sales for Japan. Is this solely down to the recent consumption tax increase? And what effect will this have on the economy?
Yes, the consumption tax led to that. It went into effect on April 1st, and it led to a lot of pre-tax increase buying in the 2 months before that. So February and March were very, very strong, and we're fully expecting the decline. And it's actually been somewhat more moderate than the last time the tax went up. That was in 1997, I guess. So it was completely expected, and the size of it was about where we thought it would be.
Now, overnight, we'll see Japanese inflation data released. For the past few months, it's hovered between 1.4 and 1.6%. Do you see this trend continuing?
Well, when we look at the monthly changes rather than the over the year ago changes, we've actually got some flattening in the last few months. It had been rising fairly strongly, as you say, for over a year. The last few months on the month-to-month basis has somewhat slowed down. It flattened out, actually. Part of this is because a good part of the increased prices is coming from the foreign sector, from imports. As the Japanese yen became depreciated, that meant foreign goods became more expensive, and as those foreign goods flowed into the economy, it raised domestic prices. Now that's been stable. The yen has been quite stable now for about 6 months, and so that effect should be slowing down. So I'm not really expecting very much of an increase on a monthly basis in the new data.
And finally, we'll also have the unemployment rate for Japan released. The figures have been relatively strong recently. Do you see this continuing? And how vital is it for Japan's economy to sustain this low unemployment?
Well, I tend not to look at unemployment rates. I like to look at employment, how many people are working and what kind of jobs, because the unemployment rate is a ratio, and part of that ratio is what's the size of the labor force, and people move into and out of the labor force depending on conditions. So when we're looking at actual jobs, I have been surprised at how strong they've been. We've seen regular jobs going up, full-time jobs, and something that's very positive, the number of part-time jobs slowing down or actually coming down a bit. So what we're seeing is people shifting and companies shifting into full-time workers rather than part-time. And I think that's the most important thing to look at. The unemployment rate is quite low by all advanced rich economy standards, and has been for almost all Japan's history. But when we look at employment, employment has been rising very, very slowly over the last few years, with a recent pickup. So I think the overall employment record will look pretty good in the new report.
Arthur, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing your insight. That's all from me for now. Keep clicking back to Dukascopy TV tomorrow, though, as I'll be bringing you your weekly wrap-up. Bye for now.